And that is something a lot of people don't realise about this. And it's another interesting aspect that brings me to the next point. We know how much this can affect people on an individual level. But what people don't realise is how it can affect the loved ones around you. Darren, how did it affect your family life?
I was engaged to be married. We split up because of it. I was constantly irritable and losing my temper, almost to the point of violence. I'm very happy with myself about that. My ex-fiancée and I have a daughter together, but I only get to see her on weekends now that we've split up.
And how did it affect your work life?
Well, I had a very good job. I was a regional manager for a local security firm, King Security, except they sacked me because I was constantly late, as I couldn't get out of bed in the morning, as I'd been up all the night before. Sometimes I just didn't bother turning in at all.
Do you have much contact with your ex-partner?
Oh, well, we're on talking terms now. She realises that the mood swings, the shouting, the anger, that wasn't me. That was my addiction taking me over.
Sorry I'm late. I saw Larry go into the betting office. I tried to stop him. I pleaded with him to come here instead, but he wouldn't listen, and I didn't want to follow him in.
Sam, don't you worry about Larry. You've got enough to deal with at the moment. You did right not to go in. But you know, a person's got to want to help themselves before anybody else can help them. I'm sure Larry will realise that soon. Now, Darren, you were saying your addiction was taking you over. So what prompted you to seek help?
Well, I didn't know where to go or what to do. I didn't know who to turn to. I felt like I couldn't drag myself away from it. And then I met a girl from Durham, through an agency. She's got such a great sense of humour, and she really is so sweet. But she told me that she had been addicted, but that she'd been clear for almost 18 months. She's helping me through my addiction. She's the one who said I should get professional help.
Well, thank you, Darren, for sharing that with us. Everybody, give Darren a round of applause. Well, all of you here today know how hard it is to overcome this, well, let's not coat it with sugar, this terrible illness. And we've got somebody new joining us today. Everybody, I'd like you to meet Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Hi, all right.
And Andy's brought his partner, Nina, along for moral support.
Hi.
All right.
Hiya.
Now, Nina, you're not just here to support your husband, are you?
That's right, Claire. I also used to be an addict. And I'm happy to say that I've been clear now for almost a year.
Well done, Nina. I think we can all take some inspiration from Nina. Now, Andy, would you like to share your story with us? We're all friends here, you know. A problem shared is a problem halved.
Well, it all started when I was helping Nina with her problem. I'd kept off it as I'd seen what I'd done to Nina and other people. But one day I thought I'd give it a go. Just so I could sort of empathise with Nina, just to see what it was like. I thought I'd try it just once, as I'd never get up to the next level, but the next day I had a big win. And then the next day, before I knew it, I was addicted. I was an addict too.
I admitting you've got a problem. Well, that's the biggest step you're going to take here, Andy.
Thank you, Darren. Now, Andy, if you like to go on.
I'd ask for help from people that I thought were my friends. And they're starting to unfriend me on Facebook and ignore me on the street when I was asking them. Then I went up another level. At first it seemed harmless. But what people don't realise is that you win a few times, just so you can spend more money. I was spending so much I didn't have enough money to pay the bills. I was hiding my bank statements from Nina. She was starting to get suspicious.
He'd go out the room and he'd not say where he was going or what he was doing, and then he'd come back in the room for about half an hour and then he'd go out again. At one point I thought he was having an affair, because he was always looking at his phone. But it turned out to be much worse than that.
I could sense a suspicion. It felt like a time bomb waiting to go off.
So, how did you find out?
Well, we went away to London for the weekend, you know, and we stayed in this really lovely hotel, and Andy went off for a shower, and I thought, well, I'll give me Mum a ring, but my phone needed charging, so I picked up Andy's iPhone off the bedside table, and that's when I saw the app on his phone.
We argued and decided to get the first train back home. This lovely trip had been tarnished by what Nina had discovered. Nina had to take a shower. She said she felt dirty, that this thing that could ruin our lives, this thing that I can't even say the name of.
You should try to say it, Andy. And then you know you're in control of it and not the other way round.
Candy Crush. Candy Crush. Candy Crush.
Well done, Andy. So, how did Candy Crush affect you in general?
The same as it affected Nina and everyone else, I suppose. I'd find myself waking up and checking if half an hour had passed so I could get onto another level.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It was even worse when they brought out those nighttime levels. Yeah. Look, can I just ask, did anyone here actually win the jackpot on that spinning wheel thing?
No.
Not once.
Robbing gits.
The high that you get when you pass a level with just one life left, and the low that you experience when you only need one or two more moves to complete a level.
And I love the feeling you got when you combined a glitter ball with a stripe and it wiped out most of your jellies.
Yeah.
There's no other feeling like that.
Oh.
No wonder people get addicted.
Those fish used to get on my nerves. They'd never clear the jelly when you wanted them to. And that bloody owl.
Oh, don't get me started on that. I used to shout at the screen. I used to scream at him, if you fall off that perch once more, I'll rip your wings off.
Liam Neeson popped up on my computer screen once and told me that if I sent him another Candy Crush request, he'd hunt me down, like he did in that film where he chased after those blokes that got his kid. What was it called? Love Actually.
Have you tried anything to take your mind off Candy Crush?
Well, I tried Bubble Witch Saga and Pet Saga. You know, just to try and wean myself off it, to give me something else to think about, but they're not the same. It's not as good as Candy Crush.
Well, I'm afraid that's our time up. Thank you to everybody who's come today, and especially to Andy for his brave decision to confront his addiction head on. We'll meet again next Wednesday, same time. Right, well, I'm off to the pub now to get rat-faced. There's a match on. I've got 50 quid on Leeds to win. Anybody come in?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yes, please. I'd like to join you. I've got some skunk from my dealer if anybody wants to share a joint with me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Thanks, yeah.
Right.
very much.
Yeah, no, really good. That was really good, honestly, Andy. I'm so glad you came. Yeah, thank you.
He's got much of a chance.
I must just pop to the little girl's room to powder my nose, if you know what I mean.
I think I'll just slip to the loo before we go. Have you seen Darren? He's left his wallet.
He's outside on a ciggy, I think.